Hello and welcome to episode 2 of Pepega Gates. We did 2 hours of gates in this one, some nice fights, some rats, some good loot, the usual. One thing I like to point out is that I messed up my recording settings, so there's actually no audio in this one. Instead, I'll do some commentary and add some music on top, I guess. First gate we did was an empty one, which is nice because we actually killed a team outside the gate before we entered, which I realized I forgot to record. So that's a double Pepega for me for the technical issues. Decent loot from the first chest, got a tier 6 Locust artifact. After that we ran into the same team we killed before I started recording, a Cursed Skull and a Life Touch Healer. I would say that this is one of the harder matchups as well as most magic DPS because it's slightly harder to deal with than physical ones, but it's doable as this healer wasted his Holy Blessing a few times. We didn't get to see how long these fights can drag out for because suddenly a third Hellgate team arrived, and as luck would have it, it is a one-shot comp. The initial team ran away and we engaged in a fight over the gate. The strategy against these comps is usually once you see the engage coming, try to disrupt it and allow your DPS to deal some damage. Luckily, the bow dies from a poison tick inside a Hellion Smoke and we win the fight. The other guy runs away, so we just grab the loot. I grab the loot and we enter the gate. So we enter, we kill the bosses and we go to the middle. This time we run into a double Warbow comp, the ones that tries to kite and poke you down. Well, we got one of them pretty low, so we just went to grab the chest. Obviously, we continued the chase afterwards, but it seems they have just run off completely, so we just exit. After banking, we come back and run into what seems to be an all-in comp. In this situation, the second I saw one of the guys go invisible, I knew he was coming, so I used my resistance potion and fiend robe. And as always, the strategy is to just disrupt and survive. Luckbox just runs off to kill the other guy, and I'm just sitting and healing up. We now need to chase down this Bloodletter guy, which is easy to do as we have Scholar Sandals swaps in our inventory, and Luckbox has a one-handed spear to hunt down any degenerates that try to run away. I execute the guy because, let's face it, I need to get kills somehow. Also, nothing trashed for some reason. That's always nice. Then we simply grab the chest from the middle, some mediocre loot, but loot nonetheless, and we leave. And obviously we double dip and run into a demonic staff. This is literally the first time I saw this weapon, so I had to inspect to see what the E does. They had 4.1 stuff, so we don't have too much trouble here. Also, I misclick and accidentally waste a resistance potion. That's pretty Pepega. Another gate, we run into a rat, we kill him, grab the chest. Yep. We double dip, run into another warbow comp, very standard, just chase and kill them. Not very fun to watch though, so we'll just speed that up. The next gate is a weird one. We kill all bosses and expect an empty gate, but we run into a rat that waited in the middle for some reason. Or maybe he just entered late, who knows. Anyway, we don't have too much trouble with rats. I simply use my fiend robe when the chest dies to knock the rat away from looting. And then we chase and kill them anyway. Also, you might notice that we overcharge. That was because we thought a fight was going to happen outside the gate, but as you can tell, it didn't. While leaving the gate, we run into some 4.1 noobs. I mean, who runs Wildfire anyways? In this gate we're up against the Black Hand's light crossbow, which is a pretty solid double DPS comp, so this fight was actually pretty close. You can see Luckbox stops to take some loot in the middle of the fight instead of just killing the other guy. This is a classic move when you want to make sure your healer doesn't take the more expensive body. So that's a pro strat for you DPS players out there. So we get to the middle chest, we get more mediocre loot, but as you can see, I'm struggling to fit all of it into my inventory. So you can see me just sitting there wondering what to trash. Oh, and if you remember from the last video, Luckbox had his cultist robe trash, and well, here was an opportunity for both of us to get one, as these were some juicy warbow people. So we managed to kill one of them, and then it's just a matter of time before we chase the other one. and as luck would have it, none of the cultist robes trashed, and I got a Swifty on top of it. Very nice, very nice. I didn't get anything good from the middle chest, but Luckbox managed to get a tier 8 Hellion Jacket artifact, so that's some good money there as well. I think it was around 1.5 mil in Carleon. Next up, we'll run into a fight at the gate. A Hellgate team and a group of 3 people for some reason. We obviously sit back and watch until they get low, and then we go in for the executes, like any other honorable Albion Online player would. Luckbox later got some very kind whispers from the guy he killed, but he forgot to take screenshots of it, so I leave it to your imagination to think of all the nice things he said. In this gate, funnily enough, I don't notice that one of the guys on the other team is from our guild until like after the fight is over. A meta comp similar to us, except that the healer is nature and the DPS is a broadsword. Obviously, holy healing is superior to natural healing, so we win this one. The healer tries to take his teammates' shit, but for no reason, as his doom is as imminent as me getting more books than Luckbox from the middle chest. Some nice loot from this one. Also, if you've made it this far in the video, just a quick question for the future. Leave a comment below if you like this format or if you would prefer if I skip all of the in-betweens, you know, the one where we kill the bosses, we go to the middle, we wait. Or would you rather that I only include the fights and the loot from the middle chest? So leave a comment below which one you prefer, and I will take that into consideration when I make future videos. This one is a double DPS comp with a bloodletter and a light crossbow. I stopped the combat loot, strategically of course, to make sure the bloodletter guy doesn't try to steal any of the loot. When we get to the middle chest, I don't realize that the loot was shared, but we sorted that out eventually. This is the final fight and the final gate. After seeing their stuff, I decided, let's see if I can win by only using my Q. It actually worked out until one of the guys tried to loot the middle chest. That's when I knew I had to intervene and use the mighty Fiend Robe to stop this 4.1 guy from taking our loot. Sadly, the damage was already done. The loot was shared. Years of friendship ruined over a tier 7 Frost Staff. Shortly after this video, Luckbox actually left the guild, hard flagged and murdered me without any remorse. We won the gate, but at what cost? Will our relationship ever recover? Will the broadsword do better than the claymore? Will Luckbox ever get more tomes of insight than me from the middle chest? Find out soon in the next episode of Pepega Hellgates.